So last time we were talking about how we can create our tables within the database. How we can create a database in when using SQL console, MySQL console. This time around we are going to do the same thing, but we are going to instead create the database within Phpmyadmin. Okay, that means normally at times it depends on the programmer. You can either use MySQL console to create your database and then your table together with inserting in the field names, or you can either create your database within Phpmyadmin, since they all have a connection with the database. Okay, so for today I'm going to briefly talk about how we can create a database within Phpmyadmin, such that we have another video for whereby we shall have to insert information within the connected database. Okay, so now let me begin by opening my WAMP server. Okay, now as we wait, I think it has opened. So I'll click this and then I'll jump to Phpmyadmin. As you can see, now here we are going to create our database. So in the last video, remember, we created a database but using MySQL console. Okay, now here you go to Phpmyadmin, the username is root and the password is nothing. You leave it as it is, then you click go. So you click go, we have a variety of names. You can see here we have on my left side of the screen, you can see we have these databases that are here. Right now, for us to create our own database, we need to first we need to click here where you see databases. You click there and then you give it a name. Now you can come up with any name, it's your choice. So maybe let me come up with something that we don't have here. Let me call it like something like tutor. So I'll say tutor, and then you click that. Then you scroll up, you select collation, click create. So right now as I speak, we have our database called tutor, as you can see. So we need to create a table for that database. We may call it something like tutor. You may say let me say something like normally tutors are found in institutes. Yeah, so I'll say institute, if I'm right. Now the table name is called institute, and then I'll leave a number of columns. You can choose whether you want 3 or 4, whatever. So I'll go with 4, and then you create that. So we have our table also created, as you can see. So we need to have an ID, so we have to fill in the field names. So I'll say the ID. Okay, then I'll come and say we have the name. I will say something like tutor name. Then I may have something like tutor Gmail. And then maybe, what can we put here? Maybe I'll say tutor first name. F name. Okay, tutor F name, that is first name. then tutor L name, then we have tutor Gmail. So now we need to know the type, the data type that we are going to use. So I'll say now we shall select the data type here. I'll say ID I'll select integer. I'll leave it as it is. F name, that's a variable character. I'll click that. Virtual, then L name, Gmail. So now we proceed. We have to input in the values here as well. I'll say maybe 255. By default, you can fix any values you want. You may say 20, 25, 50. The choice is yours. So maybe I'll go ahead with 255. Okay. Now for integer, for ID, I'll leave it as it is because I want to make it the primary key. So I'll click auto increment. Now when you click auto increment, normally if you select the data type called integer, it will automatically generate its own value here. Don't tamper with it, okay, to enter in any values here. So now you just click save. So when it's done, you can see we have our primary key, as you can see. You can see what I've just mentioned earlier on. It has automatically created its own number value. Okay, so now when you click browse, you can definitely see a query here being written called as extra from what institute. Institute is the name of our table that we created for tutor. Now how do we input in information within those fields? Okay, within Phpmyadmin, you just come and click insert. You click insert, you shall have these fields here. Now for the names, you may come up with something on your own. You may say Sadat. Okay, then the last name you may say Bukoma, and then the Gmail. So when you are done with that, for the ID to automatically create itself on its own, because since we have already assigned it, we have already checked that box for auto increment, the one that had AI, it will automatically create for us our ID. Okay, so we don't need to fill in this area. So just click go, but before you click go, it's up to you whether you want to input in more values. You can come do the same here. If you want to increase the number of rows, you just come and select, you increase them. Okay, because you can see the number of rows here, you can just come and go to the next it increases the number of rows. But for me, as per now, I want to select only one row that I need. Then I'll click go. When I click go, sorry, so now it has inserted the information within the database. As you can see, when I click browse, I go back. You can see we have a few names that have been fixed within. Okay, as you can see. So now we can also edit, or we can say something like updating. Now to update this information here, for example, if you say that the name was not supposed to be Sadat, it was supposed to be, let me say a name like James. Let me say it's supposed to be James, or Rebecca, something like that. You may just click edit. Then you come and change the name from here. So you may say maybe the first name was supposed to be James, and then the last name was supposed to be, let me say, just come up with a unique name, James Bing. Okay, James Bing. And then your Gmail account, you say it was supposed to be JB. JB. Then you click go. It will update. Okay, you can see there is a query here. Update institute set. Okay, you can see there is a change. It was changed with that. So as per now, there are no worries. Okay, there are no worries as per now. So then we have deleting. Okay, you can also delete as well, but that one I think I'll do it towards the end when we are getting done. Okay, you can check if we had another row here. You could just click check all, and everything would be checked at once, and then you delete at once. Or if you want to delete just one, you just check box that one row that you want to delete, and then you click what delete. So now what if I want to update these field names, these column names, sorry, the column names. What if I want to update these column names? What you have to do, so now you have to go to change, you go to structure, then you go to change here, you click that, it will display for us that row that you want to change. Okay, to display for us the row that you want to change. If you made some errors, let me say you are not supposed to input in some values here, you remove them and then you run like that. Okay, you can change this now, like for example, if you want to change it to institute ID, or you may say tutor ID. Okay, now when I click save, you can see it has changed. It's saying outer table institute change ID. So you can see now from ID to tutor ID. I think this makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so now we need to, I think we are done with that. We need to now drop or delete the row. Now to delete the row, if we had a number of rows here, you would just check all and everything. You click this one button down here, you click and you delete everything. But if you want to delete one specifically, you need to first check box that and then you delete. When I delete that, okay, saying do you really want to execute delete from institute? Okay, yeah, just say yes. Okay, click OK. Now it's gone. Now we need to also delete the table, to remove the table. Now to remove the table, you'll have to go to let me see, is it operations? Then you have to drop the table, because we need to just drop it, and that is all. I think it's privileges. No, not really. We need to drop this table. Drop table. So we have, we can even drop the column names. You can check box all of this and then you drop everything. Okay, so you may come and just click that drop. Everything is dropped. You really want to execute this query, you just say yes. So you can't delete all columns, that I use drop instead. Okay, so it doesn't want me to drop everything at once, but click this. You can see it has dropped one column here. I think yeah, that's how you drop that column. That's how you drop the column names. So now for the table, we need to drop the table as well. Table. So for it, we'll have to, it is written somewhere to drop table. Okay, it's here, delete table. Okay, it's down here. You go to operations and then you click delete table or drop. You can see. So when I click drop table, do you want to destroy a complete table? Do you really want to destroy execute drop table tutor? Sorry, institute. Here it is. Tutor as the database name. So now let's click OK. Shall lose our table. You can see we are back to the beginning. So now what of the database? Can we delete it as well? Yes, we can. So you go to, I think, operations once again, yes, and then you remove that database that you want to drop. So you click that, and then you click OK, and there you have it. We no longer have the database. So that is how you can create a database when using Phpmyadmin. So maybe in the next video, God willing, we shall learn how to connect to the database, and then we create the insert button or the save button, and we are able to insert information. We connect it to the database from the file, and then we insert the information within the database without inserting the information using Phpmyadmin itself. Okay.